unbelievably hard for SKTB to surprise him enough to actually kill him.
Yeah, and then that's very true. I don't want to move actually too fast beyond that. That is actually true. It's going to be hard to surprise. So what does that mean? That would mean that SKTB needs to play what we call the solid macro game. He needs to go for 3 bases, maybe 4, needs to consider the possibility of going up against Broodlord compositions, playing that late game. Now I want to add a little bit of spice to that, because if you look at that fight of the 2 Colossi and the Immortal Stalker Sentry Zealot backup, it didn't go as badly as it might have. And just purely looking at that fight, you could say Calm, he wasn't this merciless killer that you might expect. He made some lazy decisions in that fight, didn't focus down the Colossi as fast. And something little as that, even in a game which is basically already decided by that point, it would give SKTB some confidence to say, you're probably maybe actually not unbeatable for me in a longer game. Combine all the evidence that we have from game 1 and how they might be thinking, I would love to see SKTB trying to go for a longer game here.
And that's such a good point, too, because if you take all that evidence and you say, okay, I'm going to play a greedy macro style, then he's sacrificing overlords that aren't going to gain him any information. Maybe he's getting that really quick speed. That's a lot of minerals gone. That's an extra drone gone earlier. That's 3 drones mining that gas for speedlings that he may have 0 use for that early in the game. So you might be able to do something like go for a lot of upgrades and expanding, something like that. So it's definitely something that SKTB can use against Calm.
Yeah, and it would be absolutely ideal if he made it look like, just like we saw in the first game that we casted here on the mainstream, with Ash playing 2 very aggressive styles against his opponent, 2 one-base types of play. If he pretended that he was going to go for another all-in, made it look like it, but then instead going to go for a macro, he could have a really massive advantage.
Yeah, and we'll see what he does. Its countdown has begun, guys. So make sure you get on your social media, upvote on Reddit, tweet it on Twitter, book it on Facebook. I don't know what the verb is.
+1 is on Google.
Oh yeah, there you go. Anything, take a picture of your screen with Instagram and switch the tints and show all your hipster friends, because we want everyone watching the WCS Asia Finals.
#SC2WCS. We are casting here live from Shanghai in China. I'm Grubby, and with me, of course, is Artosis. Game 2 of the second game on this mainstream has started. It's Calm versus SKTB. Calm is leading 1-0.
And down here in the bottom left, SKTB. He's got his
probe on the way.
Well, he's got a lot of hard work ahead of him, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. I feel like there's just a completely different level in these 2 players right now.
Yeah, that is a fact that is hard to deny. But sometimes we see players evolving during a tournament.
Yeah.
A best of 3 is a short notice to do that upon. But let's see if you can rise to the challenge.
Yeah, we will see. And you know what? I'm actually kind of sad because Calm did go for that drop style that I mentioned before, but he never had to use it. Because I would love to be able to pick your brain after seeing him do that against some top-level Protosses and the way that works, just to see what your thought process is on that and its ups and downs. It's a really interesting style, but I'm sure since he already used it in that first game, it's something that we're going to see from him multiple times.
Yeah, and there's 2 replies that I have to that. One is, do you realize how right that makes you? That even in a game where he doesn't use it, he still upgrades it? Because you said that he uses that style a lot, drops. Even he can't stop himself from upgrading it, even when he doesn't end up using it.
I don't think he dropped anything that game. So.
That's how much it is a part of his play.
Yeah.
The second element to it is, it's about 99% probability that Calm will face another Protoss in this tournament and will use that style. So I'm sure there'll be a chance to see how he used that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we actually do have... that was an interesting pylon, but we do have... This was a pretty quick pool overall. This was like a...
13 pool.
Yeah, okay. A 13 pool. So that's going to force him to get his Forge before his Nexus, most likely. I mean, it's pretty scary. If they do end up making 4 to 6 lings and send them across map and you try to call their bluff, I don't think that's what SKTB wants to do. So we do see already getting his cannon up and a second pylon.
Now the interesting part of this, making the cannon before Nexus is...
yeah, it's a little bit gross.
Right? I mean,
yeah,
it can be useful, and maybe he felt like it was necessary. Making the gateway as well.
No.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, it looked a bit close, but the thing is, if we ever say that while we're observing,
yeah,
it's like, well, you guys are noobs if it's not true. But this pylon obviously stopping the Nexus, so that's why
he made the gateway.
He had to spend a lot of money.
Because normally that's an overreaction. You don't need the gateway that fast to block it off.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely true. And now SKTV, this has to be rattling. Here he is, the biggest stage of his life, and he's already made these big mistakes.
Yeah,
and that's going to affect the mentality of most players.
He's making one gas. He didn't have the money for a second gas yet. He lost his pylon, so that he's been massively supply blocked. That's going to give him a lot less probes at a time where really he needs every probe that he can get. Calm, yeah, he went in early pool. Doesn't affect him that much. Got really quick 2 hatcheries.
Yeah, in fact, the early pool, already he's not behind because of what's happened to SKTV. Yeah. His Nexus is super late. His gases aren't lined up right. His pylon had to be killed off. He sat on 18 probes longer than I've even ever seen MC do it. So,
and he brought 3 probes to try and kill that pylon.
Yeah, it was kind of brutal. So
at this point, Calm is massively ahead. He's at 27 workers against 20. Normally, Zerg shouldn't surpass the Protoss probe count until about 30 or so.
Yeah.
So we've got like a 6 probe deficit from what we should normally see at this point in the game, and that's huge.
And it's not just that. I have to admit, I'm a little bit surprised that he's making a Zealot and a Stalker. I feel like this means he's going to put on like a lot of early pressure, like not a third base.
Oh, it's going to be another gateway all in.
Yeah, there's no way that you would want to do that right now when you're already this far behind. Yeah. What are these units going to do for you at this time?
Okay, it's a Twilight Council.
Could be a Dark Shrine.
He's never going to have enough gas for that, especially since he made a Stalker. He had a late first gas, he had a very late second gas. He's going to only have like 150 energy. 150 gas.
It's true, he's not going to have enough gas when it finishes.
So this is...
we'll see. I would actually be a little bit... It could be the really quick Blink build where you just go out with like 5-gate Blink Stalker off the Nexus.
He's not getting Forge upgrade, so he could be trying to employ trickery here. Showing no attack upgrade, and then gonna have really fast blink.
Yeah, and when you see, for instance, there's no gases at the natural, you see no +1. You go through, you don't see any tech buildings like that Overlord didn't see. You might think, oh, you know what, this definitely could be a quick third base or something like that, like maybe an Oz-style quick third. But it looks like it's probably going to be a 5-gate Blink Stalker. And you know what, this is not a bad choice considering how this game has looked so far.
Yeah. If the things he has done so far gave Calm a sense of safety, Calm might be making a lot of drones here. He's saying, you're trying to catch up with the worker count now. Every drone that Calm makes from this point onwards makes the likelihood of SKTB potentially winning this game a little bit bigger. Now, the good thing is SKTB created a situation where he can win.
Yes.
He made it so that if the opponent makes some mistakes over drones, he can win the game, whereas some choices might not have given him that same opportunity.
Yeah, that is so true. For instance, if he had gone into a third base, maybe we have to see even more mistakes from Calm, but this is a very short time period where he can make 2-3 mistakes and SKTB has a potential come out. So we'll see if he can do that. He is moving forward. This Zergling going to walk in and see +1. Not a big tell anywhere here.
Yeah, and that Roach Warren was super, super late, and that's pretty cool for SKTB. He's going to move in with Blink Stalkers momentarily, a little bit later than he might like. The first 11 Roaches are being made, so there's this small window of time where it's only Lynx without speed against Blink Stalkers. This is SKTB's moment. He's got to try and get enough Blink Stalkers in time. Now, I'm not sure if this is the best place to attack. There's 2 spines that were thrown up by Calm immediately. It might be tricky to maybe go for the natural, and I'm so glad that he decided the same thing.
Definitely a better call here. You do not want to attack in those spines, but there's a lot of creep spread up here. It's kind of a wide area. We'll see if you can get anything done. There's a lot of Roaches out, but Roach speed is not done yet.
Yeah, it's only just started. Those Roaches should not be able to get any Blink Stalker kills. The Speedlings, however, that's a different story. He's not actually creating a lot of Speedlings at this very moment. SKTB, he just threw up a Robo. He's not using it yet. Maybe he's a little bit too busy.
I thought that's what we were going to see.
So what's this going to do?
He is going to actually, I think what he's going to try to do is throw some sentries in that, force field the ramp, blink into the main base. This is a great idea, and in fact, warping in sentries at home right now, very strong idea, because if he were to go into like Immortals, that wouldn't help. It'd be way too slow at this point. He already has all these blink stalkers. This is a really mobile and intelligent way for him to try to just take this game down right away.
Now, the problem for him, there's this huge standing army by Com on the map, which means that he needs to be ready for a base trade situation.
Yes.
If Com decides to do that, he's going to be able to take away a lot of the income that SKTB is hoping for here. And I'm also afraid that it's a little bit too obvious what SKTB is doing. This is
that was not the right blink right there. But you know what? This is going to get him force fields on that ramp. He's just got to make sure he saves these stalkers as well. He cannot lose all these. He needs to blink those again, and there you go. All right, so the main base with good micro, SKTV absolutely can take it down, but this counterattack going to be so strong.
Yeah, he's going to try and blink. Oh, no, he used his blink too soon. Now he can't blink behind his forge wall. He used it too soon. However, there's a little bit of a delay with Com getting there.
The Queens just killed off the... Well, everything here has now suddenly gone wrong for SKTV, unfortunately. And this will break through and kill him.
Yeah, it could maybe have been like a checkmate victory if he was able to kill off the main and defend at home, but there's just not enough numbers. GG Com takes this game, and I mean, it's no real big surprise.
No, there's not. I mean, SKTV impressed me a lot more that game than Game 1. I thought that was a really nice follow-up to how poorly everything went for him. Just the fact that he's trying so hard to put something together like that's a little bit tricky, you don't see as often. I like it, but Com definitely showing why he's a Chinese champion and, in fact, the better player.
Yeah, there was a huge divide between these two players. It was kind of fun to cast because we could see the plans behind everything that SKTB was doing, but it wasn't quite refined enough.
Well, as we see, Com took a bow. A lot of fans out there, of course. We are in Shanghai, China for the WCS Asia Finals. And Com being their champion, of course, a lot of fans out there for him.
Yeah.
Could get pretty deep in this tournament. He is good.
Yeah, actually, he very well might. Either him or Tootming becoming top 6 and qualifying would be huge. The Chinese audience would definitely be loving that. As the foreign audience, we're going to see kind of like a different new style, new kid on the block, a new country part of the international esports scene. I can't underline enough how great that would be to see some nationality variety in the top 6. In the meantime, on the other stream, Infi defeated his first opponent, Ender, with a 2-0 score, by the way.
Yeah, and that was a TVZ Ender, a Zerg player from the Philippines, old school. And next, coming up on this stream, Sen against Mia. That is, in my opinion, the best round 1 match. Sen, obviously, you guys probably know Sen, best Taiwanese player by a long shot, one of the best non-Koreans of all time in StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 2, and probably a whole host of other things. And Mia is actually, like, quietly one of the best Zergs in the world. He's really good, just hasn't had anything except WCS that he's done that well in yet.
Yeah, I played against Mia. He's still on Team Slayers, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I played against him in an online tournament. I lost 2-3, and that guy has really good infestor control. I know it's not necessarily like completely impossible to have really good infestor control, but he actually had really good one compared to most of the Zergs I was playing.
Sure.
I played one game, he had like 36 infestors. That kid loves his infestors, man. He's going to fungal and infest it there and everywhere. So very appropriate to bring that kind of play also into a ZVZ, not just a ZVP. And as you said, that's going to be the highest level round 1 a match that we've been broadcasting thus far.
Yeah, I think so. And do we know exactly who's casting that? Are you and I still up here?
Well, we're going to do some rotation today, guys. We've got 4 English casters here. We've got Artosis and myself, Grubby. And we've also got Jorosar, the Hong Kong, London-based caster, as well as Rob Simpson from Blizzard itself.
Yeah.
We're going to rotate all 4 of us and make different pairs, different couplings, if you will, on the 2 different streams, the main stream and the secondary stream.
Yeah, that's right, guys. So make sure that you're checking both those streams out because there's just greatness all over the place, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
You're actually going to be casting the next game, Game 3 here, of Sen Mia. You're going to be casting it together with